So as you know, well know, there are those who speak of truth, and then there are those who live by it. Credit goes to you, Sagittarius. You live by the truth. Often you might be perceived as allegedly disrespectful for speaking the truth, out of line. Is it ever in line to speak the truth? Because when you need to say the truth within the lines, that means that the lines are not holding truth. And then in order to push truth into the lines, you gotta break the line and turn it into a zigzag, and then inevitably it becomes out of line. It's like, well, of course I spoke out of line if I spoke the truth. I mean, it's kind of a default. The only way to not step out of line is by aligning. If we are talking about aligning with truth, then there's no problem. There's no dissonance, there's no resistance. But if we're talking about aligning with something untrue, and that kind of contradicts the whole notion of truth now, does it? And you get it, but and others don't. Not everyone, of course, but often your environment doesn't always get it. It takes time for a Sagittarius to grow into a persona where their truth is revered and honored and acknowledged. You gotta go through a lot of resistance in your life. Often it's a path of a standard Sagittarius, because in order for you to lead with truth and guide towards truth and so on, you gotta be full essence truth. And if on the way there you align here and align there and compromise here and compromise there, well, then you're not a torch for the truth. So many Sagittarius break along the way. They try to find the silver lining of political correctness, between political correctness and honesty. And those who succeed lead and have people follow them, and they manage to help and guide a lot of people. And those who don't, no fault. It's tough. It's a tough path to choose, for your avatar, because it's painful to constantly be met with resistance. The trick is to speak the truth, the same truth, but with love. Not with vanity, not with ego. Truth with love. And the way to go there is by having like your ego constantly sanded, so what I'm trying to say, Sagittarius, is if you're encountering a lot of resistance, I'm not telling you to not be truthful. And I'm also not telling you to not try to be politically correct. I am acknowledging the fact that it's very, very challenging to find that silver lining. And if at times you feel like you can't manage it, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just really, really challenging in this world. Right? It's the ugly ducky, right? Born to a family of ducks that mocks him for being ugly, but he was actually a swan, so it was just different. So you are this swan this metaphor, in case that wasn't clear. No shade on duckies. We all love duckies. Quack, quack, quack. Quack to said quacks. No one needs to be offended now. See what I did there? Rewind. See what I did there? It wasn't deceitful. I genuinely do love duckies. I wasn't lying. I just made sure and made the effort to mention it. So message delivered, and it's in a pill that can be swallowed. Eliminate resistance before it comes by seeing it coming, by not fighting the human nature, by understanding that some people can't see what you see, and some people just didn't have this, I don't know, the opportunity. You're also a storyteller. So deliver your truth with storytelling. Not with angry posts and it will just put up a wall. It will just tune out. Because even if you're saying something very, very truthful, if you're really angry and upset over it, then they feel the energy of anger and upsetness. And it's actually very natural. So good advice maybe would be to dissolve the anger before you speak the truth. Let's say you have an article you want to write or a post you want to write and you know the truth is on your side. First, process the anger. Go through the anger. Then write it down. Then read it again and rewrite it in a way as if you're saying the same things but to a really, really cute 3-year-old. Like you would say it with love and patience, right? So modify the language. Modify the language. Sagis, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for so many views for your March tarot scope. If you jived with that reading, watch it again. That's the time. If you didn't watch it for the sake of watching it. Because some of you are getting some good karma. Okay. Opa. Ooh la la. Oh, what do we have here? Empress. 5 of Wands. The Devil. A battle of wits between a divine feminine and a toxic masculine. Hooah! And the need to find resolution for your sake. Because there is much to gain. Focus on how far you've come, how hard you've worked. If you lose it because of masculine toxicity, no shade on men, I love men. I'm talking about toxic masculinity, which is an animal in and of itself. Not worth losing. Now, these can go either way. Maybe you're cross-watching for a Saggy that does that. There's nothing scarier than a corrupt Sagittarius, because that's a Sagittarius that uses truth to lie. The kind that modifies the truth to get their way and to manipulate the conversation in a way that sounds better, the way they describe it, for it to be on their side. Those are dangerous Saggies. But strong-hearted Saggy? No, those are awesome. Anyway, neither here nor there. Sorry, I'll put it on silence. The Empress and the Magician here. I'm not taking the Magician as part of the devil energy. I think I'm actually taking the Magician as part of the Empress's energy. Something about Venus and Mercury coming together that I really, really like, as opposed to Venus and Mars energy. I think it's time for Venus to be with a guy that can talk to her. Can just talk to her, you know, Mercurial, communicative. Not to take away from Mars energy, but it's always been that, you know, women are from Venus, men are from Mars. That yin and yang of masculine and feminine was Venus and Mars. Well, why not Venus and Mercury, you know? Mercury is also the archetype of thought, and similarly to Iris, he was able to, which was the goddess in Greek mythology of unconditional love, he was able to travel between, you know, the Olympus and the underworld and convey messages. It's energies that have a little bit of all the worlds, that find a way to connect. So Venus does it from the heart, Mercury does it from the mind. And that's a very powerful combination, being able to connect to many, both from the heart space and from the mind space. I think that's kind of where this reading is guiding you towards, Sagi. Finding that very powerful duality that works together well. It brings us back to the beginning of the intro. Loving, receptive, sweet, kind, truthful communication. And yes, you've got to battle the anger, the instinct, the corruption, because you know the other side is just full of it. And they're bullshitting and possibly lying about you and manipulating the situation. You gotta be smart. You gotta be smart, Sag. Truth isn't just associated with being right, it's also about being smart. Okay, truth is not just in the little details, it's also in the big picture and in the final outcome. Which you've learned matters. Ten of Swords. I think some of you might find yourself standing firm against unconsciousness, unawareness for the last time. One last lesson, one last challenge, one last poking by the universe to see if you actually got this. Can Sagi really wear that cape proudly? Well, that depends on you. Queen of Cups and the Moon. Some deep emotions are going to be stirred within you, Sag, during April, probably by someone who makes you feel a lot. This Queen of Cups here is making you feel a lot. She is pushing all your buttons. and making you painfully aware of your subtle subconscious intricacies. It's, you know, deep waters that attack the truth of your heart as opposed to of your mind. Sorry, I don't know. The light and the hair, and it's like, I like filming in daylight, but today it was such a long day and I didn't get a chance to do a video for you guys, and I wanted. So there ish. Oh, come on, be patient with me. I'm a girl. I want my hair to look nice. It's not. It's not a good hair day. It's just not. That happens. Okay. Acceptance. Anyway, so this Queen of Cups and the Moon card with the Two of Swords. Psychology. It's not just you guys. Psychology is coming up for all the signs that are like pushed to their depths. The relationship with the mother and the childhood and the ex that did this and the guy who didn't speak to me in kindergarten, whatever. It's all valid. Let it float and clean it out. There is a intense psychological sexual affair that brings out things in you that you forgot exist or you weren't aware exist. Some of you, regardless, are going to therapy, and it really helps. This could be a psychic person or a therapist or a friend or a lover that are just super perceptive. I think you're going to be surrounded with people in April that are super perceptive, and each of them will do something or say something to just make your brain melt a little bit. You're like, whoa, Eureka. King of Cups in the bottom of the deck. Oh, what do we have here? Hello. So you're both in it to feel it. You're both overcoming the fears, and you're overcoming the demons, and you're overcoming the need to control. And you just talk. You're just having a very open-hearted, honest conversation. And it nitpicks into each other's core. It might feel terrifying for a little bit. Some of you might be feeling dizzy, with some realizations that you're going to have. This person loves you, SAGI, and there's a lot of feelings here. And there are mother issues as well. The Empress and the Moon in a reading with the Two of Swords. Classic mother issues. You got to resolve it with your mother and not take it out on the person you're dealing with. That includes women, by the way, not just men. Men, of course, obviously. The Oedipus syndrome, but women also impose their mother issues onto their partners. Male partners, yeah. I mean, Freud was okay. He was okay. He was okay. But he wasn't attuned with all of it. You got to give more credit to Jung, to Carl Jung. Absolutely. So you serve as a mirror for one another for your psychological BS. Okay, great. But it's not just that. I'm seeing a connection that doesn't end there. I'm seeing a connection that the first stage of your relationship is that resolving the psychological issues for one another by reflecting them for one another. Maybe kind of somewhat of a trauma bonding even, or all that. But it will either end if you don't do that for one another, both of you, or if you both do that for one another and are able to pass through that test, or through that stage, should I say, then you get to the actual feels. You'll be able to actually see the other person underneath the persona that you've given them. Don't blame other women in your life for your relationship with your mother. Don't even do it subconsciously. Do it consciously and with yourself. That way you resolve it. Or talk to the relevant people that you might be doing that to. Explain to them why you behave a certain way. Maybe it's the love language you've learned from your mother. And they need to know that. And they need to know that you're working on it and you're trying to better it. Now, no shade on all mothers out there. Just for those of you that it's relevant to. Show me more about this for sure. Okay. It must be love, love, love. I mean, if it gets through the psychological gunk and the projections and the parental issues and you're still together and happy, boom, 10 of Cups. SAGI. This is very, very loving. You deserve that. Five of Pentacles. You snooze, you lose. Okay. Ten of Cups, Five of Pentacles. You know, it can also be, there's another thing to Five of Pentacles that doesn't, get enough credit for. It's sticking together through really, really hard times. Now, yes, this could be a partnership or marriage that is based on trauma bonding, but it can also be something very, very, very loving that sticks together and is there for one another in sickness and in health. Rich or poor, right? I mean, there is the risk with this combination that there's a very, very loving partnership that is being destroyed somehow by fear and insecurity and toxic love language. If your parent growing up never told you when you can expect them, when they'll come back home, when you'll see them again, maybe you would see them every now and then and it would be great and fun, but then they'll disappear for God knows how long, or just not explain themselves. If you had a parent like that, you might grow up to become a person that speaks that love language. You come, you have a great time with someone, and then you just go MIA, disappear for God knows how long. You don't communicate. They don't know what's going on, what's happening. Now, you tell yourself everything other than that, of course. Oh, I can't talk to them because of this and because of that. But it's a mechanism, it's a thing. You're speaking the love language that you've learned. That is disastrous. How do you overcome it? Well, first you become aware of it, and then you force yourself to speak a different language. Fake it until you make it. If you know that that's your love language and that's just an example, then instead, show up constantly, explain yourself. Give the person you care about what your parents didn't give you. Because as a child, you really needed that. The safety, the knowing. It was abusive, and now you're being abusive. It is abusive. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Doing that is abusive to people who love you. So, and that can create constant, joyride and then painful ending. And who knows what you tell yourself, or what this person you're dealing with tells themselves. Four of Wands. It is overcome. It is overcome. You are in partnership or going into a partnership, SAGI, with someone amazing for you. You're going to have really loving, open-hearted communication. You'll do a lot of healing with one another, for one another, and for yourself. And I see you in a commitment by the end of the month with this person. So congratulations. You want the detail? I want the detail too, because this is very interesting. Let's take a look. You're going to get a love extended. It's called a double pentagram. We're going to look into you and your person of interest with specifics. I just want to mention that we have 2 10s and 2 5s. Okay, so there could be a big leap this month. We have a King and Queen of Cups. We have these guys right here. Communication is the key to resolution. Okay? 2 5s, 2 10s. You're guided to finish up some sort of familial psychological cycle that led you in your life to a lot of conflicts and a lot of losses. Because you're so into truth. But the thing is, your truth originated from subconscious issues. So it wasn't a truth, it was your truth that you were fighting for. That constantly cost you loss. With people who were really willing to go through infinity with you. 5 of Wands is also the story. The Suit of Wands is also the story of Medea, following Yason on his journey, leaving everything behind just to go with him. 5 of Pentacles, there's the archetype of going through really, really crazy things together, sticking through it. And I think this month, as you realize everything I'm saying, learn your love language, the toxic love language. We all have several love languages, right? But the one that you have that you are just sabotaging things with you will become aware of it, and you will learn a different language. You will teach yourself a different language. Or you will talk to this beautiful person and they will help you. Let's see the actual extended. Okay. Focus on asking for messages for your love life, specifically for the month of April. To look into you and your person of interest. We will start it. I will expose some of the cards. Start talking so you can tell if it vibes with you, and then if you want to, the link to it is below in the description box. It's available on Patreon and it's available on Vimeo, and nothing will make me happier than to have you join Patreon. So check it out. But also thank you to all my patrons and all my Vimeos people, and especially also, sorry, not especially, but also very much so to my channel members. I appreciate you all. You can join my channel for $1.99 a month, and it's for reciprocation for the 13 free videos that I post every month for you guys. And so those of you who do that, I highly appreciate it. It adds up, and thank you. So, SAGI and their person, show me. Sagittarius and their person of interest, please, for the month of April. Love for SAGI for April. We'll also do runes over the year. Sorry, the cards are a little big, so I'm trying. I'll make more room for when you'll see it in the extended. You will see all of them. Let's do this. Okay. So, your mind, communication, your heart, your actions towards one another, where you feel you stand, influences outside your dynamic, past, present, future potential for April. This is you, this is your person, but you can reverse the roles in case this sounds like you and this sounds like them. So it can be the other way around. You here have 2 of Pentacles, and your person has 4 of Pentacles. Okay. So you don't know where you're at, and you communicate uncertainty and dilemma. Whether you know that that's what you express or not, that's what is heard by your person. It makes your person insecure and timid and guarded and untrusting. If your person expressed lack of trust in you or being closed off and not opening up, it's due to you not being fully present. 2 of Pentacles, you're here or you're there. You either directly told them that you're not sure about them, or the way you communicate expresses that. In your heart, the devil, okay? And in their heart, 2 of Swords. All right, lots of yummy stuff to work with. I will continue this right now. Hope to see you there. If not, I'll see you in your other readings. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Everything is in the description box. I also teach tarot. Check out Tarot Masterclass. Okay, I'll see you soon.